Morning everyone, Justin again. As always, thanks for watching my channel. Welcome back. So I wanted to do a quick video before I went to work because I just got done uploading a video that I did last night for everybody. For those of you that are just starting off as automotive technicians or lube and tire technicians, I just got done doing a Big O tire and what you can expect that they're going to provide for you at the shop when you first start off. Now in that video, I did tell you that they pretty much provide you with everything that you're going to need to do the job that they expect you to do, which is to rotate and rebalance tires, mount and dismount tires, flat repairs, oil changes, torquing lug nuts, setting tire pressure. They provide you with the socket set to do the oil changes, filter removal tools, and if you run into anything, if you start to progress a little bit further on and you start doing brakes, which I'm sure you'll have to do some training, and I'm sure they're probably not going to let you do brakes within your first year. You can expect that. It's going to take you at least a year before they get you trained up to speed to do brakes, unless you have some past experience and they said they're going to get you started on it a little bit sooner. They have the tools for that as well. When it comes to alignments, they provide all the tools for the alignments. So all the big oversized wrenches, the adjusters, some of the tools that I showed you in the video, they provide all that too. Literally everything that you're going to be doing, to include shocks and struts, is also provided. All the other repair things after that, the suspension repair stuff like ball joints and shocks and struts, we're talking now, you're probably going to need at least 2 years experience before you get to doing shocks, struts, ball joints, alignments, things like that. You're probably not going to get into like gearbox swapping or anything like that. So just keep that in mind. But aside from that, literally everything that you think that you're going to end up having to do at that shop is going to be provided to you. The manager that I currently work for, the shop owner that I currently work for, has a golden rule, which I think is actually really good. All of her new techs, even those that are fresh out of high school, and we do have a kid that just got out of high school, this is like his first or second job, we'll call it his first job really, because I think he worked at fast food for a little bit. You're not allowed to get on any of the professional tool trucks for your first 6 months of employment. I think that's a really good rule. Keep your new techs off of the professional trucks because there's no reason for you guys to even be on there to begin with. I will say that it would be, yes, stay off the tool trucks, but it's nice to dream, right? So there's catalogs. You can look stuff up on YouTube. You can Google stuff. I used to like looking through the catalog at all the professional tools when I was a young tire tech, even though it was way out of my price range and I didn't buy anything. I might have gone on there to look, but I really couldn't afford anything at the time. I still think it's a good rule to not be on there, but I still think it's kind of cool to thumb through this stuff just to get an idea of cost. And I say that because as you start doing your own research, you guys are in a way better situation than I was when I was a tech. We didn't have people on YouTube discussing similarities in product, rebranded manufacturers, a tool that is equivalently in quality for a fraction of the price. We didn't have other resources like Capri Tools wasn't even a thing at that point in time. GearWrench was barely starting to come in its own at Sears Auto Center. Craftsman was still pretty big, and then Snap-on and Mac were pretty big. We barely got a Matco truck, I think, my second year of community college and my second year of wrenching, so I barely started learning about them. I didn't even see a Cornwell truck, I don't think, until a lot later on. I might have saw him towards the end of my community college and just before I came down here to the lower desert. But I tell you all this because I don't want you to go out and start spending your money on tools right away because all this stuff is provided for you. Give yourself time. Give yourself at least that 6 months. Now look, to see if you even like it, okay? If you want to work on some stuff at home and you already know this is kind of a direction that you want to go, and I get it, doing tires and rotations and oil changes isn't exactly the most sexiest work when it comes to being an automotive technician. It's really not. It's probably not what you thought you'd be doing, but you got to go through the salt mine, you know, to work in the coal mine kind of thing. You know what I mean? You got to start off doing all the hard laboring stuff before you can get to some of the more not so laborish and higher paying work, like valve cover, gasket reseals, water pumps, more drive belts, and swapping out like pulleys, and testing alternators and starters and taking them out, and pulling intake manifolds and doing tune-ups, and those things that you're probably eager to get to, or learning how to take a U-joint out of a drive shaft or something like that. I get it. That'll all come in time. At home, if you have a car, see, when most of my cars have been pretty much beaters up until I was able to afford payments on a vehicle, and then eventually I couldn't afford payments on a vehicle, and I'm back into a beater. So if you have a car that struggles to get you to and from, or it has some problems that you want to fix at home, and you don't have any tools at home, I would say do some good research. Watch some videos other than mine. You can watch other people's videos too. I'm sure there's a lot of opinions out there. Think about where you live too. If you live in an apartment and trying to get a service cart up 2 flights of stairs is impossible, then just start building your hand tool collection. I wouldn't recommend leaving it in the trunk. I've had tools stolen out of my trunk before. So start your collection off with basic hand tools and stuff like that, and leave them at home since the shop's already providing them for you. Work your way into some of the more specialized things like we talked about, like piston retractors and things like that, that that you'll end up using later, like at home on your own brake job, until you get certified to do brakes. You're obviously not going to be doing alignments at home. I wouldn't worry about oversized wrenches just yet. Those can come later. But you can get up to like 19 millimeter with metric, and up to 1 inch with SAE on any combination or ratchet wrench set. Start it off at home. Keep them at home. Everything is provided for you. Don't be in a hurry to start getting a cart and then loading it up with the same exact stuff they're already providing you. If you live in an apartment and it's downstairs and you could fit a roll cart through there against the wall, fine. Get a roll cart if that's what you want. Pick the color that you want. Get something with like 6 to 7 drawers from Harbor Freight or something, and then just little by little, as paydays come and go, and as you can afford to, add one little thing to it here and there. You don't have to go crazy and spend half your check right out the get-go because it's super exciting. I got your first paycheck. No. It's like, okay, today I'm going to get like this Quinn 400 master socket / wrench set. Cool. Now I've got 1/4 inch, 3/8, 1/2 inch sockets, extensions, universals, wrenches, everything's covered for the basic hand tool pile. Boom, done. Leave it there. Wait. Another month or so goes by. Okay, I'm going to get a cart, so that way I have something to put it into. Cool. Get you the cart. Leave it at home. I want to get some organizers. That'd be the next thing. Okay, put some organizers, start setting your sockets up. You know what I mean? Just take it easy. Take it slow. See if you like it. And if you're not sure that you like it after about a year or two, then at least all you have at the end of the day is some basic mechanics tools to do some basic at-home repairs on your car where you don't need a lift and you can take things apart and put them back together. There's plenty of information out there on YouTube, plenty of how-to videos for the vehicle that you own. You're going to end up doing repairs on your own because you know that it's going to cost way too much to have somebody else do it. Now, obviously, for those heavier line repairs where it requires you to drop subframes and things like that and have your vehicle up in the air, yeah, now you're starting to get a little crazy with it, right? So it might not be so feasible, but you're not into it for that right now. You're into it to try to learn about the industry, see if you like it, get through the grind, and then wait for an opportunity to see if you want to grow and prosper and move elsewhere. It's up to you at that point. You can decide after a couple years if you want to build a resume up and put in an application for a dealership or an independent shop. See what they'll let you do there. If you want to learn more about the diagnostic side, plenty of really good diagnostic channels out there. Scanner Danner was one of the first ones that I started following and watching a lot of his content to learn a lot about diagnosing things. I am not a professional diagnostician, but I know where I can find the material. Keith DeFazio is another one that I used to follow a lot and watch a lot of his diagnostic videos, just to name a few. And then you've also got Paulie's Auto. I don't know if he's still doing YouTube. I haven't checked him out in a while, but these are other guys that are doing diagnostic troubleshooting. If you want to go that direction, you really need to start studying the electrical side of the system. So get you an electrical book. Go on to Amazon, look up automotive electrical, and then find your book. Get it sent to you and start reading it and start learning about it. If you want to really get involved in AC work, get an AC book. Start getting involved in it. Information up here is worth more than the tools that you actually have. But I just wanted to do this video before I went to work because I wanted to touch base on a couple of things that I wasn't sure if I covered in the everything that Big O provides and what it is that I recommend doing. I wanted to go a little bit more in depth because I started thinking about it. I'm like, you know, yes, I'm renting a place for a family of 6 where I happen to have a garage, so I happen to have room for this toolbox in the back. You might not be in that position. You might be in an apartment that's 3 flights of stairs up, and it's not feasible for you to take a service cart of any stature upstairs to put into your house. Okay, get you a to-go one, you know what I mean? Or wait for that service cart until you get a job that requires you to have your own tools. At least you'll have all your hand tools and stuff like that, your basic stuff, and maybe even some specialty stuff at home that you can then just put in the trunk. And when you're able to get that job, you have that money saved. Go get you the service cart, set it up there right on the job, boom, take your stuff out and start loading it up. I say that because that's almost exactly what I did when I started at the Chrysler dealership. I did not have a toolbox right away. I had all the tools. I had this old rickety Craftsman box that the drawers didn't work at all. It didn't lock, but it was at home, and I lived out in the desert, and I actually had it in the living room. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to try to figure out how to pull this thing out here and shove it into my Jeep and then take it all the way down there. And it's just not going to lock up any of my stuff. So what I did was I took the tools that I had. I didn't have a whole bunch, but I had enough to fit in the 4-drawer Harbor Freight lift lid box. I put them in the back of the Jeep, went down to Harbor Freight, got the box, put it in the Jeep, rolled up, built it, put my tools in it, and the rest of the tools I couldn't fit in it, I left in a plastic tote, and I locked the plastic tote. And then one day my buddy Jake and I, we were shopping around, and he's like, bro, DeWalt's over at Home Depot right now. They're trying to offload them. They're on clearance. It was like $250. I had just was getting ready to buy it, and I think I bought it for like $500, and he's like, no, dude, it's $250. And I went back and got the other $250 rebate off, so it knocked the toolbox that I got down for $250. But I think I did that within like a year. I think we were about a year deep before I went for the 4-drawer cart to this yellow DeWalt one. We got it around Christmas time. Really dope deal. So you look for deals like that when it comes to your boxes. But that's what I did. Okay, so didn't have room for any kind of oversized box at the place that we were in. Barely had a cart that didn't lock and that the drawers were jacked. Ended up getting a cart on the fly when I got hired. Just had the hand tools, put the hand tools in it, rocked and rolled, and within a year, we ended up stumbling on that really good deal with the DeWalt. So that's just to give you some ideas, a little bit of background, a little bit of mixed things. I know you're eager to try to get in there and learn it, and you want to start getting your own ratchets, and I want to get my own sockets that way they're mine. Look, they provide it all, okay? They provide all of it. Just get you the paycheck. That's what you're interested in right now. Get you the paycheck. See if you like it. If after a few months you're starting to like it and you want to build up a little by little on your own, then keep the crap at home and then work on your own stuff little by little and still utilize their stuff until you've been there for a couple years. And then after that, you can make the decision of what you want to do. And then, of course, like I said, just depends on what you could fit in your lifestyle at home. If you live in a bottom stairs house with a garage, if you don't have a garage and you have a little living room that's on the bottom floor, or if you live 3 or 4 flights of stairs up. So just things to keep in mind. That's all I got for now. Thanks as always for watching. See you guys next time. Cheers. Deuces.